Hey guys, welcome to the Unix video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be going over bash profiles, bashrc profiles. I'll be showing you how to customize your command prompt, and then basically going over how to create aliases and what to put in your bash profile. And before that, I would like to go over some of the old stuff. I would like to correct myself in the previous videos. Remember this command SCD? Well, it turns out it's not called special editor. It's called stream editor. Thank you, one of the viewers corrected me on that, and I googled it, and it is called stream editor, not special editor. So I want to correct that. And then I want to go over some of the I found some a new switch for the less command. So if we do this, we do a man on less, right? Now when we do a man on any command, it's actually executing the less command. So if we were to go to the next page, we could just press the space bar. So if you press space bar, you will go to the next page. Space bar, and then if you want to go to the previous page, you can press the B as in boy. So it's a lowercase b, and we'll go to the previous page. Okay, space to go to forward one page, B goes backward one page. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so before we start to put stuff into the bash profile and bashrc, let's differentiate what they are actually. So we have these files, they usually reside in your home directory. Okay, and the difference between they're very similar. They both execute set up your environment, set up your command prompts, set up your the permission mask, and so on, your aliases and stuff like that. They're both very similar, but they get activated under different situation. Okay, so bashrc, right? Bashrc gets activated when you are in your local machine and you open a new terminal. Terminal basically, so you don't have to do any kind of login. Basically, you can just open a new terminal. My computer is kind of slow, so you have to bear me a little bit. Okay, so once you open a new terminal, okay, and then it executes bashrc. Okay, it basically executes a bashrc. Okay, so if I put it here. Let me just adjust this a little bit, if I can get it right. If not, I'll forget it. Okay, don't want to waste time. Okay, so this is when I open a new terminal, bashrc gets executed. Okay, now when I log in into something, whenever I do some kind of login, it's executing the bash profile. Okay, so let's to prove that. Okay, I have something in the bash profile right now. Okay, and I have an alias in there. Okay, an alias is basically a shortcut for your commands. Okay, so instead of typing ls -ltr, I can just type in ls, and then it will translate into ls -ltr. That's what alias does. It translates the command you type in into something else. Okay, so like I said, okay, and then we have the bashrc, right? So in the Ubuntu, the default user, okay, it already has a bashrc. It gives you a lot of different stuff in there. Basically, so let's do something. Let's do an alias. Okay, let's do alias, and then it's also ls, but this time we give it like ls -l -la minus a basically. Okay, do a minus no, let's do la. Okay, la equal to ls minus a. Okay, So we have alias called LA, and then it's translated into ls minus a. Okay, so that's the command that that it will translate into. Okay, so to prove that, so I just updated my bashrc. So let's close this one. Okay, now when I open a new one. Okay, now if I do LA, right? If I type in LA, okay, you see it translates into ls minus a. Okay, basically if you look carefully, it displays the hidden files. Hidden files are the files that begins with the period. Okay, so this is how you create alias, and bashrc is activated, is executed when you open a new terminal. Okay, when you don't have to do any kind of login. Okay, now here, okay, bash profile gets activated when we try to log in. Okay, so I installed the open SSH server, so I can SSH to my own local host. And when I do SSH to my own local host, I actually have to log in, because when I do that, it prompts me for password. So what that means is that I'm trying to log in to my own local host. Okay, now to prove that the bash profile is activated when I log in, I have an alias called ls, and then it translates into, let's do lr instead of ls, lr. Okay, lr, and then it translates into ls minus ltr. Okay, so right now if I do lr, okay, it's like nothing. It's like command cannot be found. Okay, because we haven't activated the bash profile, and that's because when I started this computer, I didn't need to do any kind of login. I just need to do a new terminal, and then I got this terminal, so I didn't have to do any kind of login. Now if I have to log in, I do SSH. Okay, and then I do my username at localhost, press enter. Okay, now it prompts me for password. I'm trying to log in right now. Okay, it's kind of slow, sorry, you gotta bear with it. Okay, so now my bash profile is actually activated. Okay, so when I do lr, now this time when I do lr, it understands. It translates into ls minus ltr, ls minus ltr. Okay, so lr is the equivalent to ls minus ltr at this point. Okay, so now you understand the differences between bash profile and bash rc. Okay, now bash profile is really just for like users that uses bash as the default shell. Okay, so if you needed to do something, if you need it for other shells like a core shell, right, what you can do is you can create a file in your home directory called .profile. Okay, that's the default profile. It will get executed whenever you log in, basically. Okay, so it's similar to bash profile, basically. Okay, so you can just put your aliases in there, you know, set your permission mask and everything, and so on and so on. Okay, there's also a system-wide profile, and it's located in /etc/profile. Okay, this is the system-wide. Okay, so if I put it in here, okay, you see you already have a lot of stuff in there. And then when I put in let's say cp alias, okay, cp equal to cp minus I. Okay, cp minus I will prompt us if whenever we want to try to copy something. Okay, so if I press that, save it. Can't open. Yeah, I have to do sudo. So let me do sudo vim etc profile, type in the password because I want to do the root operations. Okay, I do an alias cp equal to cp minus I. By default, cp does not prompt you for anything. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So let's close this close this one. Okay, because it's a profile, I believe it's not gonna get executed. So if I do a cp new file, okay, and then I try to copy it into empty file, okay, it doesn't. I have to do a basically sudo, no, not sudo, ssh uj designer 85 at localhost, type in my password. It's kind of slow, wait for a little bit. Okay, now if I do cp new file and then into the empty file, see, now by default it will prompt you, because we set this as we set it in the global environment basically. Okay, we set it in the global environment where whenever you try to copy something, overwrite something, okay, whenever you do a cp, it will translate into a cp -i. Now this is done on a global level, on all the users level, okay, because this is a system profile. Okay, anybody that logs in, you know, this profile will get executed, and then it will also execute your own home bash profile basically. Okay, now you look at this. Okay, let's exit. Okay, now you look at this. There's another way to activate the profile. Okay, and to do that is that you can do you change your user to another user. You change it into another user basically. Okay, so right now if I do lr command not found, right? So if I do a sudo -u, I change it into my own user again. Okay, -i. Okay, now if I do lr, so this is okay, now it translates into ls -ltr. Okay, and this is because you know, you're trying to change it into another user, and you want to carry out the bash profile as well when you change it into another user. Okay, now if you just do su, okay, it will not activate. It will not activate the lr. Okay, now if you do su minus uj and then uj design 85, okay, this will carry out the profile. Okay, so now if I do lr, see, okay, so the difference between su username and then su, okay, minus username, okay, the -1 actually will execute the profile. Okay, as compared to the regular su, it will not execute the profile. Okay, so this is something that you know, a little bit different. You have to remember. But usually people would like to, you know, execute the profile whenever they log into something. So this is what you would usually use, the su minus username, and the alternative that I show you is the sudo -u username -i. Okay, that also works the same. It will execute the profile as well. Okay, to activate something, right? So okay, so we do lr. Oh, we got exit. Okay, exit. We do lr. Okay, it's not found. Okay, so instead of trying to log in again, you know, which is you know, pretty silly, what you can do the source .bash profile, home .bash profile. Okay, this is basically manually executing the bash profile. Basically, you're manually executing the bash profile. Okay, so now when you do a source and the bash profile, your lr should work now. Okay, so you see that your lr is working. Alternatively, you can do a period and then the .bash profile. This is the alternative. Okay, this is the same thing. This is equivalent to no, source .bash profile. Okay, now to my knowledge, I'm not really sure what's the difference between these two ways of executing bash profile, but I read it from somewhere online. Someone says that like the period .bash profile is friendly with the C shells, which I'm not really familiar with, so I'm not even going to go into it. But if you guys would like, you can find out like what's the difference between them. Okay. All right. So how many minutes do I have? Okay, looks like I have 5 more minutes for this video. Okay, when you create a file, right? You create a file with your default permission set. Okay, so if I do touch, okay, and then fuzzycast. Okay, interesting. Let's remove some of the files. Okay. Now, if you create a file, right? You are creating the file with your default permission set, and your default permission set is basically all w minus, all w minus, all minus minus. Okay, and if you need to change your default permission set, what you can do, you can use a umask. Okay, a umask is basically a layer of mask between your original default permission set. Okay, after the mask, it will derive a new default permission set, basically. Okay, so if I type in the umask, okay, it will tells me that my default mask is just 0002. Okay, so what that means is the mask is just ignoring the first digit. Okay, we just care about the last 3 digits, which is 0. 0 is basically minus, minus, minus. Second 0 is a minus, 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 and then the third one is 2, so it'll be a minus, w minus. Okay, so that is your mask, basically. Okay, now if you define your mask to be 022, okay, then your mask will be minus, 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 okay, minus w minus, minus w minus. So that is your mask if you define it as 022. Okay, what that means is like it will filter. Okay, your original default permission set, okay, will go through this umask filter. Okay, so your original permission set is all w minus, all w minus, all minus minus, right? When it goes through this filter, right, minus, 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 minus w minus, minus w minus, okay, you end up with what you end up with, rw minus r. See, w, when you fill the w with w is minus, okay, minus, and then r minus minus. Okay, so the end result, the end default permission set will be rw minus rw, r minus minus, r minus minus. Okay, so if you put it in your bash profile, okay, it will be executed automatically. Umask 022. Okay, so now if I do a source.bash profile, okay, now if I create a new file, so let's remove the old hello world. I don't have hello world, so if I do a touch hello world, okay, now I see that the new default mask is different from my previous one. My previous default permission set was rw minus, rw minus, r minus minus. Now my new default permission set is rw minus, r minus minus, r minus minus, basically. Okay, now to make it more clear, right, we can do something else, right, to make it more clear. So if you want a really private system where you only yourself can see it, okay, so we do a 077. Okay, so now our default permission set is rw minus, r minus minus, r minus minus, right? Now the filter is minus minus minus, rwx. Okay, now when your permission set over here goes through this filter, where you end up with rw minus, and then r minus r is basically minus. Okay, and then your original permission set is a minus, so it will end up with a minus, Now we have an r in the original default permission set. So when you go do this filter, 077 filter, it will be minus minus minus. So this becomes very private system where only yourself can see your files and only yourself can write to your files and so on and so on. Okay, so if we do a source.bash profile, okay, now if I do now the hello world, I see the hello world is gone. Now if I do a hello world, okay, now you see everybody's permission set has been taken away. Only I have read and write permission to this file. Okay, so any files I created in the future, new file, it will use this new default permission set. Okay, so this is all I want to go over in this video because I want to keep it under 20 minutes. In the next video, I'll be going over how to create more aliases and how to search through your command history and customize your command prompt. Alright, thank you. Hey guys, thank you for watching my videos. Make sure to subscribe to me, to like me on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/fuxicast, and also make sure to follow me on the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/ujdesigner85, and also my blog, which is at thefuxicast.com. Thank you.